What's going on, guys? We are back for the part two of the news updates. Now we're talking about Hotfix 1.0.5. Yes, the new Descendants have dropped for those who don't or might be confused about the thumbnail. No, new Descendants have came out. This is part two of the previous news that I just dropped. If you want to check out the big update, make sure you watch all the way to the end of this one, and it will be at the end of this video. But we got to talk about everything that's important. And you guys can see like the little colorful thing I've done here because I wanted to break down each of these points more clearly. I didn't want to go through all of it because all of it was unnecessary to talk about, but I wanted to go ahead and break down the very important parts. And the ones I have questions are in orange, and I want to ask you guys these questions. Now, so here we go. Content improvements, UI, UX, okay? To prevent module swapping from becoming a strategy in intercept battle and infiltration operations, equipping and removing modules, changing presets, and changing loadouts are now prohibited. Guys, every time if you go on YouTube after this, for example, and you look up the ultimate glade builds or the glade builds where it requires you to swap from, I think, piercing light, the little sniper, and then you swap to get like a mega damage. Yeah, that build is obsolete now and no longer works. So don't even worry about that. That's what this fix is. It's because of that person, whoever made that build. So that's why that fix is there. Now, here are the minor ones. I want to go ahead and break down. The yellow ones are important and the light blue ones are not that important, but we want to go ahead and talk about them anyway. All right. Added a feature to collect all lost and found items at once in the mailbox. You see how important that is. That is huge for a lot of people. And so it says added camera shake on and off feature in game. For those who are interested in that, that might be important to you. You can now check key stat information in weapons, reactors, and external component inventories. That also might be important to you. You can now turn the red dot crosshair display on and off cities in game options. So I guess you can turn your crosshair off. I personally will always keep mine on because I need to see where I'm aiming, right? Added in, but I guess for like hardcore players, like if you like hardcore, then you can do something like that. Add in an image to some items in the graphics options to show what they do. So basically, if you want to like improve your quality of the graphics, it'll kind of like give you like a little image and you can look at that, right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about, here's the important ones. Increase the speed of scrolling when scrolling the map when the game pads are stick, right? So it's really fast now. Well, not really fast, but it's faster than it was before, which is huge because that was irritating me, especially on console. Change the color of icons for hard difficulty. Avoid intercept battles on the world map to make it easier to distinguish between the normal and difficulty in battles. That's huge. I like that as well. All right, so the modification modules for the same descendant are now displayed together in a row in the library. So it makes it a lot more organized for the library. So that was a little cool feature we should have talked about here. When selecting all duplicate modules and dismantle modules, you can now use a filter to register only the selected modules for dismantling. A lot of people have been, I forgot to change that to orange, but a lot of people have been talking about my dismantle video and how it's great and like it's a great idea, but then they also would have issues where they would accidentally delete modules that weren't supposed to be deleted when they were duplicated. But they had apparently fixed that issue with this feature here, and also now you can select which ones or you can make sure you don't select the ones that you want to delete, right? All right, simplify the module combining animation. That's just something light. All right, starting a research in the materials tab of the research menu now returns you to the materials tab. Added the leave party button to the social menu to make the function easier to find. That is huge, man. I was like, bro, how do I leave the party? I asked my friends that so many times. How do I leave the party? Now we have that option, makes it easier. Added a search function to the consumables menu. That is easy as well because I'd be like, bro, I gotta look, I gotta scroll to find the shards. How many shards do I have? How many inorganic shards do I have? Now I can search it up, make it a lot easier. All right, so let's go ahead and break down the descendants. Now, if you guys want to read all of them, you can just go ahead and go to the patch notes. I'll leave the patch notes in the description below. Now, let's go ahead and break down the descendant module. So this one highlighted means shows that I have to read the entire paragraph because the entire paragraph is important. All right. Increase the poison contagion. I don't know, man. Increase the poison contagion rage of Freyna's room 0 trauma from a 4-meter radius to a 7-meter radius. Increase the maximum scaling range of Valby skills from 200 to 250. God. Increase the maximum scaling range of Blair skills from 200 to 250. Oh my goodness, man. We are about to go crazy with these area of effect abilities, right? AoE. Change the blizzard generated by VS's glacial cloud module to be triggered instantly without delay. Change Valby's Albion Academy Cadet head skin to be dyeable. That's just cool. Change the incoming final damage to incoming damage modifier in the description of the safe recovery module. All right, that's cool. All right, so we're gonna break down the equipment paragraph. I had some questions in here, so we want to go ahead and talk about that. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one. Added a feature in game options that enables some single shot and burst weapons to fire automatically when the fire button is pressed and held down. Yo, if you can do devotion, Najistra's devotion with automatic, that would be insane. We gotta test that out in the game. We gotta figure that out. Increase enduring legacy's critical hit damage from 1.7x to 2.3%. If you guys have not seen my top 5 weapons to get, this exactly is what I'm talking about. Enduring legacy is better than Tamer. There is no question out. Dude, stop putting stuff into Tamer and go ahead and farm this and max it out as fast as possible. All right, increase Najistra's devotion's critical hit rate from 36 to 45 and critical hit damage from 2 times to 2.25. Man, let's go ahead, man. We're going crazy right now, man. I love it. W updates right now. W updates. All right, let's go ahead and break down the field. Okay. Increase the amount of void shards that can be acquired from special operations by about 7 times. Ooh. Now, here's why I wanted to have this as a question. It's a good thing and bad thing because now they're making the game a lot easier for all these people who have been complaining. Oh, it's taking me 200 hours to get an ultimate descendant or this and that and this and that. But they want to get the game. They want to get everything in the game so fast for free that they have nothing else to do a month later. Like that's the only issue I'm having with the devs with this. They're catering to everybody when they should be catering to people who want to play this game a long time and not the people who want to get through it, be done with it, and move on to something else. That's not going to work for a live service game. They need to fix that. All right. But let's go ahead and see what the director says about this. Hotfix 1.0.4 added void shards as rewards to special operations, but unfortunately there were just too few. Yeah, that is true. That was definitely true. 100% that's true. The original intent was to keep void fragments as the primary farming source for void shards and get additional void shards from special operations. But the community has told us that many of you don't like this loop, so we've increased the amount of void shards that can be earned in special operations. We're also working on some steps for future improvements. Okay, I like that. Never, I take it back. But 7 times is crazy though. We'll see about that. That's crazy. I think it probably because like you would probably end up getting like 3 or 4 at the end of the special operations, but then now you double it by 7, so now you get like 21. I like that. Okay, you do a whole special operation mission, you get 21 shards. I can deal with that. That's not as bad as we thought. Okay. Um, Many players are currently farming materials without spending the fragments at the fusion reactors. So we're considering removing the fragments from the fusion reactor startup altogether. This would make the fragments necessary only when the reconstructing device is used at the fusion reactor. Okay, so they're moving it from you can start the thing, you can start the fusion reactor, but you still need the shards in order to uh get the Morpheus material to unlock your Morpheus material. Okay, I guess. I mean, I guess it's just to fix that issue. All right, well, let's keep reading. Okay. We're taking a close look at how the reward loop we plan works in practice. We'll try to finalize a reward loop that players will be satisfied with in the near future. Yeah, it's kind of tedious. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of hate doing the void shard loop and all that stuff, but they're working on fixing it, and I can't complain about that, right? All right, reduce the distance you're knocked down when hitting a trap. A lot of people have been complaining. I seen a video of somebody hitting the trap and kept hitting it, and they kept getting kept getting flown back, flown back. So I see why they would do this, and I appreciate this. All right, so here's some other questions we have. Lower the ratio at which the named monster's immunity sphere HP scales when the number of players in infiltration operations and reduces the duration of immunity. Now, this, like I said, it's making it easier. That's what I was talking about before. So it's the same type of question. It's making it too easy. Let me know, guys, in the comments below what you guys think about how they're making the game way too easy for everybody. The Agna Desert, Vespers, Echo Swamp, White Knight Gulch, Hagios, and Fortress Fields now have a 100% chance to spawn encrypted vaults at spawn. That is beautiful, but it also now is making the farm too easy. That's why I've been trying to tell you guys. They're making it a little bit too easy. Okay, so they'll probably revamp it a little bit, make it a little bit harder. Next update, we'll see. But like I said, they're making the game way too easy, and we don't want that, right? Not everybody wants that. Some people want to, but not everybody. Outside environmental sounds are now less audible in indoor areas, and Kingston adjusted the distance that monsters spawn in the laboratory to be closer at 15 meters, which is good as well. Then again, makes it a little bit easier. Oh no, this is for the laboratory. Never mind, it doesn't matter in the laboratory. That's where you test stuff for those who don't know, like test your weapons and builds. Okay. Um, Optimization. I'm gonna skip this part. You can read this if you want to. Optimization improvements. Now, this is huge because a lot of people still been saying, I've been crashing or my quality is low. I have a decent. My laptop is decent to handle high performing games like this, and I'm like, why is my FPS bouncing a lot? So they are fixing the optimization here, and which is good here. All right. Bug fixes. Okay, so we're going to break down the bug fixes. We're going to talk about certain ones that we think is important. Fix an issue where enemies defeated by the unique effects of ultimate weapons were not counted in the battle pass challenges and wars. So that was a little issue with the battle pass, and I'm glad that they fixed that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and talk about fixing. Okay, it fixed an issue where closing the capacity exceeded warning message while enhancing a module made the game inoperable. I don't know if you guys have tried that or have that issue. I never had that issue, but I had to ask this question because I'm not sure if you guys had it. Let me know in the comments below. Fix an issue when restarting intercept battle, infiltration operation, and special operation. After completing it, would not matchmake you with allies who completed or who applied to restart with you. Now, this wasn't issued to me because they were randoms anyway. I didn't personally care about this, but if you guys cared about it, they fixed that for you. All right, revise the description of the info screen that incorrectly stated that the damage taken decreases the higher the incoming damage modifier, so that now it states the damage taken decreases the lower the modifier. That's a little bit for y'all if y'all don't care about that. Fix an issue where completing a mission with a weapon that has been socketed at least once would appear to give mastery rank XP when in fact it does not. Oh, why did they take that out? I actually wanted the mastery. Oh, it just showed it, but you never really got it. Got the XP for it. I don't know. Either way, I feel like it should. Like once it resets back to 40, man, just go ahead and come on, man. Come on, mastery rank takes a while to get anyway, right? Like, come on. Anyways, let's keep going. Fix an issue when the down but not out UI animation would persist when a down but not out ally left and another ally joined. I never had that issue, but apparently people had that issue. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about. Oh my gosh, they face a lot of Descendant stuff. Yeah. If you guys want to read this, you can. I'll leave the patch notes in the description. I'm not going to read all this. It's too much, personally. But like I said, if you guys want to read the Descendant fixes for your specific Descendant or equipment fixes for your specific Descendant, you can pause this here and then you can read it. Let's just read the director's cut comment from it. So during initial testing, we discovered a bug with the Thunder Cage. The Thunder Cage could always deal 1.33 times damage according to its description, but it was dealing more than 1.33 damage when there were a lot of monsters. We fixed this bug, but we also boosted the 1.33 damage to 2 times so that it doesn't become less efficient when hunting. I love it. Thank you for that. We're all aware, yeah, we're well aware that the value of items you own is important to you. To ensure that fixing the bug doesn't devalue your items, we've given it more power than we originally intended. If sometimes like this happens again in the future, we won't stop at simply fixing the bug, but consider how to preserve the value of the items of your items to provide a reasonable patch. I love it. Thank you so much for that. Fix an issue where you could hear one or two extra shots when firing single shots when a repeated firearm. I never had that issue. I mean, for anybody who had that issue, that's cool. There's a lot of module fixes here. If you guys care about the modules, you can read that here yourself. Pause it here and then read it. Okay. Field. Let's go ahead and break down the field. Fix an issue when defeating named monsters at the same time as Void Fusion Reactors mission was being deleted. Allowed the player to use reconstructing devices without consuming Void shards. I didn't even know that. Um, Monastery, the old monastery showed different paths than from actual paths. Fix an issue where movement markers would appear while progressing through the Void fusion reactor. Uh, so basically, they had changed the Morpheus material patterns and shape stabilizers acquired from hard infiltration operations in the White Knight Ghost and Hagios. So they had just adjusted it. Here's a chart for you guys if you care about that. Miscellaneous, we don't really worry about the miscellaneous stuff. If you care about that, you can pause it here, read it yourself. Okay. All right, here's the final talk about this. All right, here's the director's additional comments. Greetings. This is the First Descendant director, Miss Misako Ju. Misako Min Seok Joe. Please forgive me. I apologize. I would love to meet you in person and actually know how to say your name. Please forgive me on that. Okay. Today I'm going to outline the dev team's plans for issues that are discussed frequently by the community. The team is currently working on season 1 and season 2 updates while also responding to improvement issues developed during the live service. Today I'm going to talk more about how we plan to improve the current state of the First Descendant rather than about the season 1 and 2 updates. Drop rate improvement plans. While all of our drop rate systems are operating fairly in the First Descendant, we do understand that some players are struggling with the various of I don't know how to say that word. Various of drop rates. To address this, we're planning to introduce a new system where you can more easily get the item you want after repeating the activity a certain number of times. The First Descendant what has various missions and Morpheus materials with chance dependent rewards. We're considering how we can effectively take care of the drop rate issue in such diverse reward systems, and we're working to create a farming structure that players will be happy with. We hope to make improvements before long to provide a more rational and satisfying farming experience. Disposing of leftover items. Next is an update on items that are piling up in your consumables. There is currently no way to dispose blueprints for descendants and weapons that you've already completed. So there are cases where players are getting multiple copies of blueprints they already owned during the farming process. That is guaranteed, absolutely true. Okay. We've been listening to the community who have told us that there needs to be a way to dispose of these unwanted items. While we could consider simple converting them into gold or copper, we want to reward you with more value for the time you have put into the game. To resolve this, the dev team is planning a system to dismantle leftover items to get byproducts and a rotating shop system where you can exchange the byproducts for something of value. This will allow the item you obtain to have a greater value in the game. That is huge. Supporting build diversity. It's a lot of fun for us to see the variety of builds being posted in the community lately. We love to see you try so many different builds and are amazed by the unexpected ways you've evolved them. We hope for more builds to exist in the First Descendant, and we want an environment where people are free to experiment with different builds. However, we found that it is difficult to take advantage of loadouts after assigning socket types, which goes against our goal of experimenting with different builds freely. As a result, the dev team is planning to provide an environment where completely different builds can be created by assigning each loadout with different socket types. We hope that okay, I like that. We hope this will help you experiment with different builds without feeling overwhelmed. Finally, balancing. Finally, some news about balancing. We are seeing a dominance of the skill damage focused builds of some descendants. Descendants and weapons that are well suited for these builds are quite popular now. We want the meta builds to change from season to season. We want the descendants and weapons that are effective in new content to be different from those in previous seasons. Also, we're looking to increase the proportion of firearm based combat in the endgame. We can't promise that all descendants and weapons will be equally balanced at all times, but our goal is to keep changing the effective builds. To that end, we promise to make consistent adjustments and offer different ways to play with new content. We aim to implement the improvements I talked about today during seasons 1 and 2. Your feedbacks mean a lot to the dev team. We'll do our best to provide a better experience as we build the game together, and we'll continue to listen to you as we strive to make the First Descendant even better. Thank you. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this breakdown of the Hotfix 1.0.5, and let me know comments. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and like the video if you like the breakdown. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.